Human resource planning. To understand the human resource planning, first we will see what is planning and why is it needed. What is planning? Plans are methods for achieving a desired result. Goals or objective are specific results you want to achieve. Planning is thus the process of establishing objectives and courses of action prior to taking action. What is planning concerned with? Planning provides a sense of purposes and direction. It is a comprehensive framework for making decisions in advance. It also facilitates the organizing, leading, and controlling functions of management. Planning allows you to make your decisions ahead of time. It helps you to anticipate the consequences of various courses of action. It provides direction and a sense of purpose. It provides a unifying framework against which to measure decisions, and thus helps you to avoid piecemeal decision making. Planning also helps identify potential opportunities and threats, and facilitates control. It is concerned with the end, what is to be done, as well as with means, how it is to be done. Human resource planning, or HRP, may be defined as strategy for acquisition, utilization, improvement, and preservation of the human resource of an enterprise. The objective is to provide right personnel for the right work and optimum utilization of the existing human resources. HRP exists as a part of the planning process of business. This is the activity of the management, which is aimed at coordinating requirements and the availability for and the availability of different types of employers. The major activities of HRP include forecasting or future requirements, inventorying or present strength, anticipating, comparison of present and future requirements, and planning necessary program to meet future requirements. Human resource planning involves gathering of information, making objectives, and making decisions to enable the organization achieve its objectives and goals. Surprisingly, this aspect of HR is one of the most neglected in the HRM field. When human resource planning is applied properly in the field of human resource management, it would assist to address the following questions. Definition. Human resource planning is the process by which management ensures that it has the right personnel who are capable of completing those tasks that help the organization reach its objectives. It involves the forecasting of human resources needed and the projected matching of individuals with expected vacancies. International Labour Organization. According to Coleman, manpower planning is the process of determining manpower requirements and the means for meeting those requirements in order to carry out the integrated plan of the organization. According to Geisler, manpower planning is a process including forecasting, developing, and controlling by which a firm ensures it has the right number of people and the right kind of people and at the right places at the right time doing things for which they are economically most useful. According to Dell S. Beach, human resource planning is a process of determining and assuring that the organization will have an adequate number of qualified persons available at the proper times, performing jobs which meet the needs of the enterprise and which provide satisfaction for the individuals involved. According to Wake-Strauss, human resource planning consists of a series of activities. For example, forecasting future manpower requirement either in terms of mathematical projection of trends in the economic, environmental, and developmental in industry, or in terms of judgmental estimates based upon the specific future plans of a company. Making an inventory of present manpower resources and assessing the extent to which these resources are employed optimally. Anticipating manpower problems by projecting present resources into the future and comparing them with the forecast of requirements to determine their adequacy, both quantitatively and qualitatively, and planning the necessary programs of recruitment, selection, training, development, transfer, promotion, motivation, and compensation to ensure that future manpower requirements are properly met. Hiring the right kind of people was cited as the most important challenge by 98% of HR and business leaders in a survey. The second most cited concern was retaining this talent, backed by 93% of respondents. 48% of Indian employers struggle to find the right candidate. June 2012, Bangalore. The battle for the right candidate continues to rage as 48% of Indian employers struggle to find the right candidate for the job. A study on talent shortage by staffing firm Manpower Group shows that although down by 90% of the last year, India's hunt for suitable employees is high compared to global average of 34%. The profile on demand have also altered since same period last year. While it was difficult to hunt for R&D, sales manager, and IT staff last year, this year the positions are for IT staff, marketing or public relations or communications staff, and engineers, personal assistants, call center operators, researchers are also hard to find this year. Professions like laborers, doctors that had made it to the list have been struck off this time. Lack of available candidates, technical competencies among those present, refusal to remove to another location, poor image of the occupation, weak soft skill, and demands for a higher salary have been key reasons in Asia Pacific for the posts to remain vacant. Problems in HRP process. The main problems in the process of HRP are as follows. First one. A. Inaccuracy. Human resource planning is entirely dependent on the HR forecasting and supply, which cannot be a cent-per-cent accurate process. Number 2. B. Employer resistance. That means that is called to be totally as employee resistance. Employees and their unions feel that by human resource planning their workload increases, so they resist the process. Number C. Uncertainties, labor absenteeism, labor turnover, seasonal employment, technological changes, and market fluctuations are the uncertainties which human resource planning process might have to face. Number 4, that is termed as D. Inefficient information system. In Indian industries, HRIS is not much strong. In the absence of reliable data, it is not possible to develop effective human resource planning. Number 5, which is termed as E. Time and expense. Human resource planning is time-consuming and expensive exercise, so industries avoid. Objectives and benefits of HRP. Benefits: importance of human resource planning to recruit and maintain the HR of requisite quantity and quality, to predict the employee turnover and make the arrangements for minimizing turnover and filling up consequent vacancies, to meet the requirements of the programs of expansion, diversification, etc., to anticipate the impact of technology on work, existing employees, and future human resource requirements, to progress the knowledge, skills, standards, ability, and discipline, etc., to appraise the surplus or shortage of human resource and take actions accordingly, to maintain pleasant industrial relations by maintaining optimum level and structure of human resource, to minimize imbalances caused due to non-availability of human resource of right kind, right number, in right time and right place, to make the best use of its human resources and to estimate the cost of human resources. So, human resource planning is required to achieve the objectives of estimating potential human resource requirements to cope with the changing requirements of the organizations, taking into consideration the changing technology to make full utilization of the existing and potential workforce of the organization, and career planning of employees.